Secret number 5, fuel system cleaning engines choke on carbon and gunk. By 100,000 miles, injectors spray like a garden hose instead of a fine mist. That kills power, fuel economy, and makes the engine hesitate. Most drivers never clean the system until a misfire lights the dash. Here's how I do it. First, I run a proven fuel system cleaner into the tank. None of the bargain junk. I even made a video breaking down which brands work. Links on screen. Second, I use a pressurized kit through the fuel rail to blast carbon off injectors and valves. On direct injection engines, I also check for intake valve buildup. When it's caked, walnut blasting is the only fix. Skip this and you'll waste fuel you never use. And the next item on my list isn't hidden in the tank. It's bolted to the exhaust, and when it fails, it drains your wallet fast. Secret number 4, oxygen sensors and exhaust checks. Here's one rarely mentioned at 100,000 miles. Oxygen sensors. These little detectives in your exhaust tell the ECU how much fuel to inject. Over time they get coated, lazy, or wear out. When they stop reporting right, the car runs rich, burns more fuel, and punishes the catalytic converter. Most O2 sensors last about 100,000 miles before dropping off. The problem? You might not notice. The engine still runs but dirtier and hotter, cooking the converter. A new one can cost over $1,000. That's why I check O2 readings with a scan tool at 100K. Slow response or flat signals. Replace before it snowballs. I also inspect the exhaust for leaks, cracks, and rust, since even a tiny leak can trick sensors. Stay ahead of this and you'll protect both fuel economy and your catalytic converter. Ignore it, and you'll watch your gas tank drain faster than your wallet can keep up. Secret number 3, replace timing belt, chain, and tensioner. Now we're in the heavy hitters. Want a highway breakdown? Let this belt go. One snap and you lose it all. Power steering, alternator, AC, and sometimes the water pump. Overheat, tow truck, big bill. At 100,000, I don't risk it. I replace the belt, tensioner, and noisy idlers as a set. Rubber hardens, bearings wear. That squeal, that slip. Heat kills belts quick. Here's how I do it. Snap a photo of the belt rote or use the underhood diagram. Use a 3/8-in breaker bar on the tensioner. Relieve tension. Slip the belt off. Spin each pulley. Any grind or wobble, replace it. Check belt ribs. Cracks, chunks, glaze equal sign failure starting. Bolt new tensioner to spec. Don't guess. Align belt on every rib. No one tooth off. Hand rotate, crank 2 turns. Recheck tracking. Start engine. Watch for walk. No spray dressings. They attract dirt. If water pump rides this belt, check for leaks at the weep hole. Don't ignore spots. And now, the second most overlooked thing at 100,000. The system that keeps your engine from cooking itself to death. Secret number 2. Perform a transmission service. If the engine is the heart, the transmission is the nervous system. It directs power where it's needed, and by 100,000 miles it's endured a lifetime of stress. The problem? Most people ignore it until too late. Transmission fluid isn't just oil. It's hydraulic fluid, coolant, and lubricant in one. Over time it breaks down, loses friction properties, and fills with clutch material and debris. Then it can't protect gears, clutches, or solenoids. That's when you feel delayed shifts, slipping, or harsh bangs. For automatics, I check fluid level, color, and smell. Bright red and sweet, good. Brown and burnt, trouble. Manuals need fresh gear oil too. Worn fluid grinds synchros until every shift feels like gravel. Many mechanics avoid mentioning service since it's pricey, preferring rebuild jobs later. But here's the truth. A fluid change and filter at 100,000 can double transmission life. Ignore it, and you risk a tow when the gearbox quits. We've now covered nearly every hidden 100,000-mile service tip, but one more stands above the rest. The single most critical piece that decides whether your car thrives or dies past 100,000. Secret number 1. Replace differential and transfer case fluid. Here's the service nobody talks about, yet it's the silent killer past 100,000 miles. Your differential and transfer case. They don't get the spotlight like engines or transmissions, but they're the backbone of your drivetrain. The differential sends power to the wheels, while AWD or 4x4 systems use the transfer case to split power front to back. Both are full of gears, bearings, and clutches living in gear oil that takes heat, shearing, and metal contamination. By 100,000 miles, it's usually dark and worn out. That highway whine or 4x4 shutter often skipped fluid service and sealed for life in manuals. In reality, that means until failure. Replacing these units costs thousands. Changing fluid costs less than a night out. That's why it's my #1 secret. A simple drain and refill at 100,000 can add decades of drivetrain life. It's the service that separates scrapyard cars from those cruising past 200,000. So if you want your car to outlive the payment book, remember, engines and transmissions get the glory, but differentials and transfer cases carry the load. Take care of them, and they'll quietly take care of you. Crossing 100K is a milestone, but survival depends on what you do next. Even oil changes can kill your engine fast. Click below for common mistakes drivers unknowingly make.